the best day ever.
It is the best day ever, and so is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and so is the day after tomorrow, and even Wednesdays, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
Who would ever thought that Barbie, the queen of pink perfection and mass-market fantasy, would suddenly become a deep existentialist thinker, at least for a short moment? The music stops, the dance floor freezes, and suddenly the glossy, consumer-driven fantasy of Barbieland is shattered by the terrifying truth of being and mortality. It just goes to show you that even the most high-definition plastic surface can hide the deepest philosophical void. For those of you who follow this channel, you know that my usual quest is to look at words, to analyze literature, poetry, films, and reality itself through the lens of language. And the word we're discussing today is kind of important. It's a word that everyone uses hundreds of times a day, yet no one ever seems to generally say it out loud and focus on its meaning. This word carries an odd, unspoken weight. It has a kind of a taboo quality. It's not the word taboo itself, of course, but the word that is taboo, which is the word is itself, or being. By voicing the idea of mortality, Barbie breaks a fundamental societal taboo. In much the same way, our own language attempts to evade a similar, unmentionable reality by constantly hiding or replacing a single crucial word, the word being. But why would we have a taboo? Why would we have any taboo words for that matter? What's in a taboo that doesn't allow us to mention it out loud? Well, the very word taboo actually comes from Polynesia. When James Cook discovered the Polynesian islands, he noticed that locals avoided mentioning something out loud. That restriction or interdiction is what they called a taboo. So James Cook came back to Europe not just with the goods that he carried in the ships, but with the word taboo itself, which in Europe at that time was literally unheard of. But you might be wondering, why is being taboo? Don't we use it every day? Don't we use it every time we say is, which we do all the time? Well, not quite. In fact, the word being is a kind of always implied but never spoken aloud, never mentioned specifically, which is interesting. One of the main reasons is that we don't really know what it is. Just listen to this phrase, we don't know what it is. This it. What is it exactly? What is it when we say it rains, or it is cold, or it is late? When it's cold outside or in a room, we say it is cold. But do we really know what we mean by it? Because in this case, we don't say we are cold. That's clear. But what do we mean by it when we say it is cold outside? Is it a thing, a person, a ghost? What is it? Or when we say it is late, what or who exactly is late? Late to what? And where is it going? Again, we understand when we are late somewhere, but what exactly is it when it is late, or early, or cold, or hot, or whatever attributes we assign to it? We can't really answer this question because we don't know what it is. Because being it is a massive contraction of something big, something even scary. All the things we could have said about it, we can't say, so we just say it. In other languages like German or French, this it becomes even stranger. In German, if you want to say it is a table, you say es gibt ein Tisch, which literally means it gives a table. It gives? From where? Does it even have tables stashed somewhere in another dimension? Or in French, it's even stranger since it is actually called he. So to say it rains, the French say il pleut. Literally, he rains. He? Who is he? The Rain Man? It is strange, isn't it? Strange because once again, we don't know what or who we're talking about when we mention it. We kind of know it, but as if we're not allowed to disclose it for some reason. We're in a strange circle when we know what it is, but we don't really know what it is. We treat it like the existential Voldemort of grammar, the thing that must not be named unless you, of course, want to reduce it to an empty pronoun. Voldemort was the you-know-who guy, the he who must not be named guy. And the word mort in Voldemort, of course, implies mortality, a big facet of being, the thing which suddenly stopped Barbie's dance.
I don't know why I just said that. I'm just dying to dance.
So the very word it, when we use it in it is raining, it is cold, it is late, or just simply it is the Voldemort, is the taboo, a prohibition, or to use a more fitting word, an interdiction. Taking it literally, an interdiction means something interdiction, that is, between diction, between words. Something casually spoken and skimmered over, but not really examined in a way. It's as if the casual words are prohibited from being opened, like a Pandora's box. Or as James Joyce put it in his book Finnegan's Wake, the law does not allow you to shout. What kind of law is it? Is there such a law? Why did the Polynesians have a taboo? And why do we have an interdiction to mention that which is always between diction? What's the problem with it? Why can't we talk about it? This is where the existentialists provide us with their characteristic answer, because it gives us anxiety, or to use a more existentialist term, angst. But even older than angst is a much more familiar concept, that of panic. Panic is the Greek ancestor of the feeling we get when we break a taboo. Imagine you're a traveler deep in the mountain wilds of ancient Greece. The air is still, and you feel entirely alone. You're walking quietly, maybe lost in thought, and suddenly you have the profound irrational sense of being watched. The sudden, overwhelming dread that makes you want to drop everything and run is named after the god who ruled those remote places, Pan. Pan was the wild, half-man, half-goat god of the forests and untamed nature. While he was often seen as mischievous and joyful, he was notorious for the sudden, inexplicable fear he could induce in travelers, hunters, or even whole armies. This fear, which would seize a person simply for disturbing the god's rest when he was sleeping, or by entering his domain unawares, was called panikondema, Pan's fear. You don't want to wake up this creature unless you want to cause panic. That is what the Polynesians called taboo in their own version. That is what Barbie caused when she started speaking about death in public. And that is why we cannot name it in order not to wake it up, whatever or whoever it is. Pan was frightening also because he was everywhere and nowhere, hence we have the word pan in extensive concepts like pan-European, pan-American, or even pandemic. It is everywhere, not just pan, but the it, which we reduce to this little word. And the next time you casually say something like, "It is what it is," stop for a moment, feel the silence, and ask yourself the existentialist question. Am I trying not to disturb someone's sleep right now? Is it the sound of the terrifying, untamed, magnificent reality of being that our language has learned to hold its breath around? Perhaps a deeper philosophical question is not just what is the meaning of life, but simply what is it? Or maybe even who is it?